Hi Romanian readers, I'm Nikola Scott. I'm the author of several historical novels and family sagas set in England, and I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about my novel, My Mother's Shadow, which is now out in Romania. The book is about twin sisters Addie and Phoebe, who were separated at birth and grew up never knowing the other or even knowing that they had a sister. Now they meet at 40 years old, and they have to try and figure out what happened back then and why they were torn apart. Woven into Addie and Phoebe's story in the present day are diary entries from their 18-year-old mother. In the 1950s, Elizabeth was forced to make a terrible choice by her family and by society, which goes on to affect all of their lives. The very first idea for the story came to me during a conversation with a friend who had just discovered at the age of 40 that she had an older sister she never knew anything about. My first reaction was, that's probably the most exciting thing ever. But when I really started thinking about that one moment, this stranger showing up on your doorstep or as suddenly part of your family saying that she's your sister, and I was wondering how that would actually feel. And it's an incredibly complex situation, I think, that opens up a lot of other emotional questions as well. And that's how the relationship between Addie and Phoebe was born. The historical strand of the book, so 18-year-old Elizabeth's story, takes you back to the late 1950s. This was quite a fascinating era, I think, because purely in terms of time, it's not that far away from us. But in terms of their understanding of the world and of the role of women, it might as well be late 19th century or Victorian times. Girls who found themselves pregnant without being married were shamed and condemned and usually went into mother and baby homes to give birth, where they were then forced to give up their baby for adoption if they wanted to have a chance at a normal life afterwards. It's hard today to imagine people adhering to such strict moral codes, but that was the time of our mothers and grandmothers, and many of those probably still remember a fast girl at school who disappeared for 6 months without explanation, or maybe even found themselves in a similar situation. Elizabeth's story in the 1950s was actually quite hard for me to write because it paints such a harrowing picture of the women's reality back then. But Addie and Phoebe's story is a really, really lovely counterpart to that because they become not so much sisters or are forced together as part of a family, but they become friends and confidants, and they support each other and they grow to love each other during their journey of trying to understand what happened to them. I hope you enjoy My Mother's Shadow, Addie, Phoebe, and Liz's story as much as I loved writing it. Wishing you all the best and lots of love. Bye!